So, are you a dungeon master that despairs that his or her players do not want to try anything besides D&D, and you wanted to try something else with them? I heard such complaints, and you figured out a method to get your players to try something without forcing them to not enjoy themselves and stuff, even if they don't know what they're missing and they would have enjoyed themselves otherwise. But you know, such is the thing completely about perception. The perception is king and rules what people feel about things. So if they don't have the perception that they'll be having fun and doing well, they might not have fun and not do well. So in order to give them an opportunity to try, here's what you would do. Make a campaign that has 2 different worlds, and the players will have opportunity to completely play a campaign split between those 2 worlds. One in, say, a world that doesn't have the kind of magic and things and stuff that D&D has, and one that does. And they will be able to transition back and forth from one world to the other, dealing with different circumstances, different situations, different challenges, different mechanics. And this is where you would use one system for one world and D&D for the other. Potentially, you could set it up so that they don't start using the other system for a while until the D&D campaign, quote-unquote, starts getting fun and good and does that full swing. Now, this is a somewhat long project, but still, you need to have it go for a while, for a month or 2 or something, whatever. Players don't know whether the project will be fun, whether everything will be great and superb and wondrous as you imagine, so you don't just splash all these mechanics all at the same time onto them all at once. No, you concentrate on giving them a great campaign with wonderful premise of those 2 worlds, and then you sort of surprise them when they have still their characters from the D&D part, and they will continue using them, but at this point they have transitioned to that other world with other challenges that is fitting to a short set of mechanics. You use some light system, but that's not a big challenge. Most things you can find are lighter than D&D. So then you can have them try and try to find something that has reasons and synergies and stuff. Why are you wanting to run that sort of thing in that sort of setting? After all, that's probably your motivation as a DM for doing all this. So once you do that, you keep having them go back and forth or doing even 2 things at the same time at one point. But first probably going back and forth so that they get used to the other thing in the transitions, and then have a fun campaign for as long as you can. And then afterwards, well, you have players that have tried and probably like, if you did this well and set it up correctly, they tried and like another system besides D&D that you can use for things that D&D doesn't work with. Something that probably doesn't have spells and so on. Something that possibly has more mechanics about character and social interactions themselves and less about everything else, but who knows. Whichever one you pick. Or maybe it's something with the giant robots fighting, who knows. That's something also that D&D doesn't really do natively. So there's my suggestion, but I will figure another way if this doesn't appeal to your players, the whole campaign pitch. And mind you don't have to tell them ahead of time that the other world will be using another system, as long as that system is miniature enough to be something that you can sort of surprise them with. But yes, otherwise you better stick to an excellent campaign premise with potentially something famous and some crossover mix, something that they would like already, that they really want to try in combination. And as I said, if they don't want this, tell me and I'll figure something else out. But this should get most players that refused in other circumstances to try something besides D&D. They will probably want to try with this. So, adventure, if you thought this was unique, maybe you can spare me a click and I could see you here next, or perhaps even every week, because every week I have something new and unique for you. I'm Em, and welcome to dMTable. See you next time. Bye.